When I say wood burning, this is what I'm talking about. That transformer generated the electrical arc across this wood to make this fractal patterning. This is called Lichtenberg pattern. It's after George Christoph Lichtenberg, the 18th century German physicist who first experimented with high voltage electricity and showed this pattern. And it's basically the path of electrons trying to find the easiest path until it arcs across, and then will actually, blazes a path. And once it finds a good path, it'll remain on that arc. And I'll show you how that works in a minute. But there's a couple of examples of what I've done. This is from several places, with the terminals placed several places on the wood. And a couple of other examples, a smaller, thinner piece of this press board works really well. And this big 2x6 just for the heck of it. Really made a really nice pattern in there. The grain of the wood, the quality of the wood, and the conductivity, which is affected by, I'll show you, affected by an electrolyte. Wood itself is a resistor. Wood does not conduct electricity normally. So we'll have to put an electrolyte on there, a catalyst. And what I use is water and baking soda. So I'll show you, I'll demonstrate that in a minute on just regular wood, just plain wood. The arc won't form this pattern. It won't arc much at all, but because of the wood, the resistance of the wood. But with the electrolyte on there, it'll, depending on how much it's soaked in and the nature of the electrolyte, the mixture, you can use baking soda or salt, but either one will help this arc travel through the wood. And we're going to demonstrate some of that right now. Now, before we get into the wood burning fun, I need to show you the safety measures that I have in place to protect property. I don't really want to burn my garage down, and I really don't want to die, so I'm going to be putting these safety measures in place to make sure that I keep a safe operation of this as I'm doing the wood burning. I'm going to start with this mat here, which is this pressed board. This is all wood. It's a good insulator. That's going to give me a good place to put these high voltage terminals and not arc across to anything that, anything but the work I'm actually working on. I'm also going to be wearing this thick pair of welding gloves, which are insulated, so those will keep me from conducting electricity, at least through my hands. So I'm going to be handling all of the terminals and everything with the welding gloves on. I'm going to be using these two heavy gauge cables here as the terminals, and this is number 4, number 6 copper wire, actually auto jumper cables, about the thickest wire that I have to operate this with. I'm also going to be standing on this rubber mat the whole time, so as I'm operating the machine, I'll be standing on the rubber mat with rubber shoes, because I don't want to be grounded. I don't want to conduct any electricity through any part of my body, so that's what's going to insulate me from the ground. And then the last thing I'm going to do is to operate this from a remote switch. I'm going to use this power strip, and I'm going to keep that away from the terminals so that I have to step away from the work and stand on the rubber mat in an area where I'm turning the transformer on and off away from the live terminals. So I try to keep remote and to keep away from high voltage electricity. So I've put these measures in place to try to do this as safely as I can. So on to the fun. Okay, so now that we've reviewed some of the safety measures I've put in place to try not to die from this, I'm going to show you first off what this arc does, just like we saw in the climbing arc display. Here it is through the same 12,000 volt 12,000 volts through these here leads. So, hot 12,000 volt arc. Right now I've set the leads, the terminals on this wood, which is not prepared. It's just plain wood. And I'm going to flip on the transformer, turn on the transformer, and you'll see that there may be a spark, there'll be a hum, but those electrons will not be able to pass between the two because they're just too far away, and there's nothing to carry that flow of electrons there. The wood, again, is an insulator, so I'm going to turn it on. And we can hear a general buzz, but there's nothing flowing between those two terminals because wood is a good insulator. Okay, now I've taken that same little block of wood and I've put a thin coating, just brushed on a thin layer of the water and baking soda to act as a conductor to allow the electrons to pass between. Here we go. Look at it blaze the path. It's looking for the path of least resistance through that electrolyte. And it'll continue to burn until it forms a solid arc between them. And you'll see some little shadow places where the electrolyte's gotten under the first layer and gone below to the bottom layer of the wood. And now it's formed a solid arc. And what it's going to do, it'll just continue to sit there and burn, and the electrons will pass between the two. I'm going to turn it off now. And after it forms that arc, it'll just sit there and it'll burn. But there's that Lichtenberg patterning again, the high voltage, the little electrons constantly looking for the best place across the medium through the electrolyte. I'm going to do one or two more here. Okay, here's another. And again, I've brushed on the water and baking soda for the to give the little electrons a place to go. And gear up again. And anytime I move these live leads, I'm going to have some gloves on. And the transformer is turned off. I have that remote switch, so there's nothing flowing until I get going. I'm going to do a couple of different locations on this one. Here we go. So I'm going to move this to a couple of places. Try to get some different patterns on there. Wow, this generates a lot of smoke. Now that made a complete arc there between the two. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to move over here. And one thing I've noticed in working with these is that when it's burned a path, when it's burned a nice easy path, it'll continue to follow that path. Like if I move these leads across here, they're going to jump to this path because it's established this before, and then the carbon and whatever chemical burning is going on in here has created a nice solid conductive path so that it'll just arc between the two and complete that where it's gone before. I'll do a couple more here. And all of this varies depending on the material you're using, the wood, and the electrolyte. And I'm sure other things, humidity, the nature of the wood, everything else involved. Sometimes it's a little more spectacular and it gets away, and the more it does that, the more it chars. And these can be brushed up and cleaned up where they look more, more clean, like that first one I did. And some of these others where you actually get to see some of the finer detail. And there are a lot of people out there on the internet that have done these and made furniture, fixtures, decorations, all sorts of things from this patterning. But then again, that's Lichtenberg wood burning. People have done it with acrylic, glass, a lot of other material, most often with wood. But there you go. There's fun with high electricity, high voltage.